Hey guys, Christy here, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite books that I read in January, why I like them, and why some of you guys may like them too. So I just wanted to say a really big thank you to those of you that supported me through the book launch of my brand new book, Ariadne and the Legend of the Fire Rose. It came out January 27th. So it was just an amazing day. Everything went so smoothly. I was so excited. It really was a dream come true. So thank you so much to everyone that got a copy, that has read it or is reading it. Those of you that left reviews, the reviews help a lot. So thank you so much for that. And I'll definitely be sure to keep you guys updated on more book news. I am hurriedly working on book 2 as much as possible before baby comes. And I have to say, when I'm looking at this video, it doesn't even look like I'm really pregnant. So I figured I would stand up and show you that there really is a little baby. There really is a little baby there. So yeah, he's doing really good. I'm doing good so far. I'm gonna keep making videos as long as I can. Right now we are about a little less than 6 weeks away from his due date. So that is exciting, but I'm just gonna keep going as long as I can. Hopefully I'll actually be able to announce when I'm gonna have my last video before I go on maternity leave. But I don't know, who knows what's gonna happen. So, but if I do have to disappear for a while for obvious reasons, I'll definitely leave something on the community tab so you guys know. But yeah, I'm really excited. I feel like now it's just a race against the clock because the nesting phase has really kicked in. So I feel like I need to like clean and organize everything. On top of that, I'm trying to like get as much of book 2 done as I possibly can before I'm just like completely distracted and sleep deprived. But you know, every day I get a lot done, so I just keep telling myself like it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna get it done. Like, and yeah, just counting down the days till this little baby boy arrives, and we can't wait. We're so excited. We feel so blessed right now. So yeah, now it's time for the books. The first one is a book I read on my Kindle. It is Swan. It is called Swan Lake by Shea. It is obviously a fairy tale retelling, and this book was really cute. I felt like it was such a comfort read. Like, I don't know, it was just like a really feel good, wonderful story. And of all the Swan Lake retellings I've read, this one is my favorite. I haven't found too many that I really liked, but this one I thought was really good. There was a lot of suspense, a lot of drama. It's basically about this girl that gets cursed by a sorcerer to turn into a swan by day, but at night she's allowed to be human. And in this story, a bunch of other people end up getting cursed. And so they form this band of smugglers, like professional smugglers, and they go around the kingdom smuggling goods. And all of this is going really well until the prince encounters them and sparks start flying and a bunch of things start happening. And so the story is just about like how they end up trying to break the curse. I really enjoyed this one, and I think if you like fairy tale retellings, Swan Lake retellings, this one is definitely worth checking out. So another exciting thing happened this month, and that is that I discovered audiobooks thanks to Taylor from Tales and Treats with Tay, because she recently became a mom and she was talking about how audiobooks really helped her just keep reading and everything. And I was like, oh, I'm not really into audiobooks, but like I need to do something because I don't want to just like stop with books, you know? So I asked her all about it, and she pointed me in the direction of this app called Everand, which is a little bit different than Audible. It's a little bit cheaper, and it's like a streaming platform for like all these audiobooks, and I've just been gobbling them up and I love them. I listen to audiobooks every day now on top of the book that I'm currently reading. So it's great because I feel like, at least for now, I'm reading like 2 books at once. So the first book was actually a combination. I actually started reading it first, Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch, and then I ended up switching to the audiobook later on, but this book was so cute. It was so fun. It was just an experience. I felt like I was actually traveling to Italy. It's a YA romance, and it's a story about this girl that sadly loses her mother to cancer, and then she ends up going to Italy, and while she is there, she gets this mysterious journal from her mother's past and ends up finding out all these things about her. It's like a big mystery surrounding like what her mother was doing in Italy in the first place and why she wanted her to come there. So it was a really good, cute story. And I love the romance. It made me smile. It was just really, really sweet. It literally made me want to take a trip to Italy. So yeah, this was a great book. I highly recommend. Next book I listened to purely on audiobook, and like I said, I felt like I wanted to take a trip to Italy. I was really in this Italy mood, so I picked up The Italian Ballerina, which is a historical Christian romance by Christy Cameron. This book was fascinating to me because I actually really enjoy history, but I guess lately I just haven't been picking up too many historical fiction books. But I really, really enjoyed listening to this story. The book is about what happened to several people in World War II, and so the story is about these people as well as a timeline that's happening in the present and how they are all connected. And so there is this really big mystery in the present about like what is in this suitcase that belonged to this guy's grandmother who was a little girl during World War II. And the story that's kind of happening in World War II I thought was completely fascinating because it was about this hospital in Italy that literally made up this fake syndrome, like a fake disease, and made everybody quarantine. But what they were really doing was hiding Jews from the Nazis. I'm assuming it actually happened because it's a historical fiction. I never actually really looked it up, but I'm assuming it was like a real thing that they really did that. And I thought, how clever is that? And so you have kind of like what's going on and the suspense of like, are they going to make it? Are they going to end up finding these people, finding out that the Jews are being hidden there? And like, what is in this suitcase? So there's a lot going on, but like I said, I found it completely fascinating. It was very, very interesting to me. So if you are into historical fiction, particularly during the World War II era, then I definitely recommend The Italian Ballerina. Next book I picked up was called Pearl in the Sand by Tessa Abshar, and I was really interested in this book because recently the pastor at my church did a sermon on the Battle of Jericho and how Rahab helped the spies escape. And I don't know if you know the story of Jericho, but it's about this great battle where the Israelites marched around for, I believe, 7 days, and then the walls just collapsed and they went in and they took the city. But before all that happened, there was a prostitute named Rahab that actually helped some spies, the Israelite spies, escape the city. So I was already really interested in this story, and then I heard Taylor was talking about Pearl in the Sand, and it came highly recommended by her, so I decided I would listen to it. And I absolutely loved it. It was amazing. I was so captivated from this story right from the start. And it was funny because when my pastor was doing the sermon, I had this thought, what if Rahab actually didn't want to be a prostitute? And so this was kind of like a continuation of her story. It kind of gave some background, and obviously it's fictional, like we don't really know what Rahab's story was in the Bible, like what her background was or like why she was the way she was. But this kind of filled in the blanks, and it felt so realistic. It felt like this really could have happened. And so not only did it explain like her background, but it was all about the Battle of Jericho, and then it continued on with her life and like what happened with her and her family as they integrated into Israel. And then she ended up getting married and what happened with her marriage. So it was really interesting, like right from the start. I was really drawn to these characters. I really connected with these characters. I thought the writing was just fantastic. So, oh yes, and this was actually the very first biblical fiction book I have ever read or listened to. And I was hooked right from the start. And so I was like, okay, I think I need to give more biblical fiction books a try because this was really, really good. I mean, talk about bringing the Bible to life. It was just an amazing experience. So I definitely recommend Pearl in the Sand. Okay, last but not least, I listened to the book Stay With Me by Becky Wade, and this book was amazing. It came highly recommended by Oshina. I heard it in one of her recent videos, so I was like, okay, I need to give this one a try. And this book did not disappoint. I see what y'all mean by Becky Wade's writing is just a notch above the rest. It's so good. I think what made it so good is the characters. The way she sculpted these characters, they just felt real. And she provided these amazing in-depth backstories for everybody, why they were the way they were, why they felt the way they felt, why they thought a certain way, and the dialogue was just awesome. And on top of that, so swoony. It was like, oh. It was so romantic. I really, really loved it. The story is about a girl that is she's a wonderful Christian girl. She writes Bible studies. She's actually a little bit famous, and she unfortunately develops an opioid addiction, an addiction to painkillers after she injures her ankle, or she has like ankle surgery or something like that. And it's just something that kind of happened, and then she finds herself in this really big mess, and now she needs to get some help. She needs to get clean, go through some recovery, and then along comes this guy. While she's in recovery, she ends up staying in a cottage on his property, and the main character's name is Genevieve, and the guy's name is Sam. And Sam actually has some experience with someone in his life that had an opioid addiction. So this story is just about redemption and walking through and healing. And on top of that, there's this really big mystery going on with Genevieve's parents that was like, oh my gosh, I have to know. Like, there was one night I couldn't sleep, and so I was like, oh, I'll just listen to the audiobook. And oh man, then it was like, I ended up listening for the next like 2 or 3 hours until the end of the book because I was like, I just have to know. Like, I couldn't stop listening. Like, the mystery was just so good. Obviously, there's a little bit of a trigger warning with the whole addiction to painkillers that could be too close to home for some people, or a little bit traumatizing or whatever. But for me, it was okay. I highly recommend this book if you really like contemporary Christian fiction, because it really just was a step above the rest. It was so, so good. Well, that is all I have for the month of January. For February, we are in the middle of our Once Upon a February readathon. If you haven't heard about it, you should definitely check it out. All the prompts have to do with fairy tale retellings, and I'm really excited about it. So I've already read a couple books. I am so excited about this readathon, and we're going to be doing some live reading sprints all throughout the month. So you'll be able to meet all of the co-hosts by just seeing us live. So it's a little bit different than just a recorded video. So it should be a lot of fun. I cannot wait. And so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.